Panda, 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 panda. I got broads in Atlanta. Just took the lean in the family. Credit cards and the scammers. Getting no licks in the band. Legacies.
What up, y'all? This is your boy DMV Ken. If you hear the wolf sounds in the background, you know we 10 toes down. You are now locked into the voice of reason. Let's get it. So URL Smack, they just dropped or just re-dropped the Queen's Flip JBlac battle, like clips from it on their Instagram page. And folks in the comments just bugging, fam. Like, people are just talking about how Queen's Flip got killed, how JBlac shook the room, and this is how you stop a crowd, and how JBlac rap better than 90% of the battle rappers active today. Y'all tripping, fam. Like, stop. Listen, man. I looked at this battle, bro, and I think it's a preference battle. I personally had Queen's Flip winning this battle, but I understand it's a preference thing. But for people saying that JBlac just totally killed Queen's Flip, y'all tripping, man. Y'all are straight up tripping. Let me tell you something, man. This battle was shot in JBlac's favor because the gas was on cheap in that building that night, fam. Like, they was going crazy over the most basic, ridiculous stuff, man. And Queen's Flip was hitting some heavy lines, bro. So I had to go back and look at this battle and break down the lines in this battle. And I had to say, bro, the gas was on cheap. I'm talking about 1990s. I can fill up, I at least get a half a tank for $5 type cheap. Yo, y'all was tripping, man. And anybody in the comments talking about JBlac killed Queen's Flip, fam, you don't know lines, you don't know bars, because dog, he did not kill Queen's Flip. Now, if you preference him, I understand it. But if you say he killed Queen's Flip, yo, y'all bugging. This battle was definitely closer than what it appeared to be. It's just that when you look at it to see how gassed JBlac was, it'll sway your opinion that Queen's Flip got killed. But it wasn't by any stretch of the imagination that Queen's Flip got killed in this battle. So I want to go back over some of these lines from this battle that was super gas. And when you listen to it and you break it down slow and you hear actually what was being said, you be like, all right, man, this is kind of gas, right? So JBlac opens up the battle. He says, for anybody thinking that Queen's Flip is beating me, hey, John, he gonna pay for what you did to Reed. The crowd goes crazy, fam. Like, I'm talking about, they go crazy like this was a haymaker. Like, go back and look at, he says, hey, John, you gonna pay for what he gonna pay for what you did to Reed. Come on, fam. And the crowd goes crazy like he dropped a crazy haymaker, right? So then he goes into the second line. Flip, for all that ish you talk behind your laptop, the mag pop, and hit you and everybody in your backdrop. Now, that was a good line. I thought that line was definitely fire. That line was definitely fire. But then he goes into the next line, or he's just continuing what he's saying. He said, lift Flip to God, and then he stumbles, chokes, or whatever you want to call it. And even though Black was yelling, it wasn't a choke, just because, and I ain't gonna call it a choke, I think it was just a stumble, right? Because he got it back. But even if somebody's just saying it wasn't a choke, well, that don't mean they didn't choke. Fam, you clearly choked, or you clearly stumbled, right? So you got it back, but I think that the way you finished that whole scheme or that whole line right there was tough, you know what I'm saying? So Flip, for all that ish you talk behind your laptop, the mag pop, hit you and everybody in his backdrop. Lift Flip up to God. That's just Call of Duty for being Black Ops. Got it. Dope line. Crowd went crazy. Dope line to me. All right, I get that. Straight line. All right. So then he goes into his next group of lines and he's saying, body in the chop shop, stop, Ock. Before I pop a Glock, the 9 Eminem assigned his raps like Papa Doc. Garbage. Crowd went crazy. Don DeMarco's now excessively hitting the Don DeMarco horns and Don DeMarco drops. Crowd is going crazy. This line was garbage, fam. That line was garbage. And I don't care. Don't try to explain it to me. And it was garbage, fam. And people were just going crazy. So now the gas is on cheap right now. The gas is on cheap right now. Everybody bugging out into the crowd. So now Black goes into his second line. And he says that Black will each verse damage rappers. I bet this pussy bleed off the first hit like Jazz the Rapper. The crowd goes crazy. Don DeMarco drops, Don DeMarco horns. Gas is just on cheap. $5, half a tank, straight up. Fam, that line was weak. That line was weak, fam. And don't sit there and tell me, no, that line was weak, bro. Black with each verse, I damage rapper. I bet this pussy bleed off the first hit like Jazz the Rapper. Fam, it was garbage. So to me, JBlac in his rounds, like you could clearly see that he's just taking a collection of all these rappers in the URL or on any platform, and he's just creating his rounds sounding like everybody else. Remember that time when JC was battling Chef Trez, and he was saying everything that these rappers have been that they're doing has been done twice, even they speech stolen like Trump's wife. Like that bar hit so hard because, man, this is what we getting. And when I was listening to JBlac's verse, that's all I was hearing was JC saying that everything that these rappers are doing has been done twice, even they speech stolen like Trump's wife. Like here is a prime example of JBlac forming into a collection of different battle rappers and creating a verse sounding like everybody else. Man, there's no individuality. There's no uniqueness to this round. But all right, so the crowd is going crazy off of the Jazz the Rapper line, right? So then he goes into his next round and he says, you beating me? No, never. I'm sorry, the truth hurts. I'll bust a tool. He gets shots, a lot of shots, free Sue Surf. Come on, bro. You beating me? No, never. I'm sorry, the truth hurts. I'll bust a tool. He gets shots, a lot of shots, free Sue Surf. The crowd goes bananas. Gas is on cheap. The crowd goes bananas. The line was garbage. I understand you playing to the crowd, free Sue Surf, but dog, the line was garbage. It was no lyrical ability or lyricism with that line right there. So then he goes into the next scheme where he says, we at Nome, so act like you know me, cause I'm where the beef's at. F how he act. Ain't nothing funny about the react, cause I'll split his head with the heat right where he at. I get it. Cool line. I like the he at, split it right down the middle. That was a dope line. Very creative. I get it. Dope. So then he goes into the scheme that everybody loved. That was apparently the room shaker. Where he says, so I'm so mother loving mean with it, I can bring that back and do a whole nother scheme with it. Psych, I lied. Why would I do a whole nother scheme with it? I'd rather show y'all exactly what I mean with it. And when he says 9, the crowd goes crazy. Haymakers, Don DeMarco's, horns, etc. He didn't even say anything, fam. He didn't even get into it. And this is how the gas was flowing. That he didn't even get into the punch. He didn't even get into any part that was haymaker quality. And the crowd just goes, wow, fam. And this is another reason why I'm saying that at the beginning of the night, them first battles, you can pretty much get away with anything because everybody's so hyped, everybody's so amped, everybody's so excited to be there. The first battles are always going to be better than the last battles. And the first battles are always going to have more leniency than the last battles. And so he comes up with, as soon as he get the 9, let me show y'all, I'd rather show y'all exactly what I mean with it. 9, and as soon as he say 9 in, the crowd goes crazy. Don DeMarco's dropping. He didn't even say anything. And he's dropping horns. So then Black goes back into it. Psych, I lied. I'd rather, psych, I lied. Why would I do a whole nother scheme with it? I'd rather show y'all exactly what I mean with it. He says, I'd rather show y'all exactly what I mean with it. 9 in the sky. It got the if being with it. Gotta keep it tucked. Now I'm in my jeans with it. Don DeMarco. I mean, he's like, he even looking at like, I didn't get to the punch. He's looking at y'all like, I didn't even get to the punch. And everybody, I mean, as soon as he said, I got to show y'all exactly what I mean with it. 9 in the sky. Got the if beam with it. Got to keep it tucked. Now that I'm in my jeans with it. Ish poking out. Now I got to lean with it. Crowd goes wild. Don DeMarco. He looking at y'all like, man, I didn't even say anything yet. Let me get to it. So finally, when he gets to it, he ends it where 9 poking out, 9 in the sky. It got the F beam with it. Gotta keep it tucked. Now I'm in my jeans with it. Ish poking out. Now I gotta lean with it. Can I borrow $1? I'm walking like a fiend with it. Crowd goes crazy. Haymakers, Don DeMarcos, etc. Fam. How many, like, this is what I'm saying. Like, the same thing JC said, dog. Everybody's done that scheme. That's Mr. Wavy's scheme. All he did was just take something that everybody else has done and turn it into a haymaker. And y'all accepted that. Y'all accepted that, man. Dude was so super gas, fam. Dude was so super gas. He was so super gas, man. And the gas was on cheap. Brothers didn't care. But then Queen's Flip goes, right? And Queen Flip out the gate has a little tiny stumble. He stumbled. You can't get away with it. But Queen's Flip says the dopest bar in the whole battle. Clearly, the dopest, most creative bar in the whole battle. Better than anything that Black said. He says, King Blogger. Man, I've been thinking through it. Why give Jay the title and we ain't streaming music? Fire. Best line of the battle. Fire. He said, and then he goes into a scheme. And even though he started the scheme weak and you was like, where he going with this? He ends it with fire. He said, he seems stupid. So let me go back. He said, King Blogger, man, I've been thinking through it. Why give Jay the title if we ain't streaming music? He seems stupid. Get out of line and get an original smack from me. His whole back damage. Once I take Black out on URL, you knew smack was organic. Now you like, oh man, that's garbage. What are you talking about? But then he goes into, after he says his whole back is damaged. Once I take Black out on URL, you knew smack was organic. You obedient to King of the Dot, but be acting tough on smack stage. Don't be bamboozled by the coonery. You can see it all in Black's face. Fire. Fire, fam. Hey, and so he pieces the whole scheme together. It starts off weak, but he ends it with fire. He says, the Maca spray. It will get real gory. Cause when y'all lick a flick of the wrist, I leave the metal on his tongue. This ain't a Christmas story. Anybody that grew up watching A Christmas Story knew that line was fire. So already, to me, Queen's Flip is winning this battle. Because Queen's Flip is just coming with fire bar after fire bar after fire bar. He says, you niggas bore me. Your name is Jerry Parker, right? I heard you had Laura Tarzi in your crib. And the crowd didn't even go back and the crowd getting involved. I heard he had Laura Tarzi in his crib. What, you just stalker? Black was so damn bored he couldn't chalk her. Black was so he couldn't body her. He said Black was so damn bored he couldn't chalk her. You ain't have no weed, you couldn't spark her. I get it. Jerry ain't have enough drive. He could park her. Oh, he had to park her. Fam, fire. Time. Hey, Queen's Flip won that battle, fam. Queen's Flip won that battle. Hey, your boy JBlac was gassed, man. Y'all gassed JBlac. Y'all gassed JBlac. He didn't kill Queen's Flip. Queen's Flip won that battle, man. Queen's Flip had way better lines. It's just that JBlac had more star power. That's it. That's it. That's it. He had more star power. But lyrically, bar for bar, Queen's Flip won that battle. I don't care what y'all say. JBlac was straight up super gas, backed by the URL with the super duper gas. He was on super gas. That's what y'all was on that night. And I don't care what you say. JBlac got beat by Queen's Flip, who was an actual rapper, by the way, who actually rapped in his lifetime and had music. But yeah, y'all say whatever you want. Hey, this is your boy, DMV Kid. This is the voice of reason. Subscribe, comment, like, dislike. I just appreciate the engagement. Hey, I'm out.
Panda. I got broads in Atlanta. She took the lean in the family. Credit cards and the scammers. Hitting the licks in the band. Legacies.